Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kseniya. I make videos for people who are going through the family immigration process. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to arrange your family-based adjustment of status packet in 2024. If this video looks familiar, it's because I already have a video talking about how to put the packet together, but there have been some updates with the filing fees, so a lot of you were asking for me to provide you with an updated packet video. Keep in mind that this is only for family-based adjustment of status cases, so for those whose relative is currently inside the United States and is eligible to adjust status with their petition at the same time. And this sample is for a marriage-based adjustment of status case, but it will apply to you also if you're filing for another immediate relative, such as your parent or your child, for example. And if you would like to know about the general list of forms required for family-based adjustment of status packet, please check out the video that I will also link in the description box and in a pinned comment below. So let's disassemble our packet and we'll go through what is contained in our packet step by step. So first and foremost, at the very top of your packet, you will include the passport style photos. The passport style photos are required in all adjustment of status cases. There is a debate among applicants, however, as to how many passport style photos you need to include in your packet. If you read the form instructions for each of the forms, you will notice that they are asking for at least 2 passport style photos for each application, but you can get away with only submitting 2 passport style photos of the applicant for the entire packet. And if this is a marriage-based adjustment of status case and you're filing your I-130 petition by mail, you will also need to include 2 passport style photos of the petitioner with the whole packet. Your passport style photos can be taken at the post office, at CVS, Walgreens, or you can even take them at home on your smartphone, as long as they follow the directions of what a passport style photo should look like from the Department of State's website. And I will also link that resource below. The passport style photos in the back should have the names of the people that are in them. You should be putting these photos in a separate either clear envelope, a Ziploc bag, or a regular envelope and put them on top of your entire packet, just so they don't get lost. Do not use paper clips or staples to attach your photos. After the passport style photos, you will include your payment, which should go at the very top of your entire packet. Depending on what payment option you use, you will either fill out the forms G1450 to authorize them to charge your credit card to pay for all the applications, or you can use money orders or personal checks. You should not be mixing and matching payment types in your entire packet. You need to pick one payment type and use it to pay for your applications. So if you decide to pay with money orders, you're going to get a money order for each of the applications you're paying for. And if you decide to pay with a credit or a debit card, you will fill out a G1450 form for each application that you're paying for. You should not be including this form and some of the money orders in the same packet. Let's talk about the credit card authorization form. Fill out all the information and don't forget to sign this form. If you don't sign it, they will not process your payment and your packet will get rejected. Please also note that you must fill out a separate G1450 form for each of the applications you're submitting. Do not write one G1450 form with a total amount. So this G1450 form is for the form I-130 petition, this one is for adjustment of status, and one is for employment authorization, for example. And if you're applying for advanced parole, you will also include an additional G1450 for that form. To double check what the fees actually are for these forms, you can check out the USCIS fee calculator or their fee schedule page. The price for the paper filed I-130 case is $675. Adjustment of status is $1,440. Employment authorization is $260, which is a 50% discount for adjustment of status applicants. And advanced parole travel document is $630. However, this payment method is not the best, as very frequently credit card or debit card companies will reject your payment, will mark it as fraud. So USCIS cannot process that payment and they will reject your entire packet and send it back to you. So in that case, a more secure payment option is using a money order or a personal check. These are sample money orders that I have here. Like with this form, need to have a separate money order for each application that you're paying for. There is one caveat, however, is that the money order limit is $1,000. So for an application like adjustment of status, I-485, the fee is $1,440. In that case, you can get 2 money orders, which will equal the total amount for the form I-485, and you can make a note on each of these money orders that this is for the form I-485. There is 1 money order for the I-130 form, 2 money orders for I-485 form, and then separate money orders for employment authorization and advanced parole. So if you're using money orders equally, just like this, they will go at the very top of your packet right after your passport style photos. Next, let's talk about the medical exam. The medical exam has had a few very crucial updates this year. One of them is that the medical exam no longer expires. If you get your medical exam done in the year 2024 and on, your medical exam never expires. What that means is in preparation for your packet, you can get your medical exam done ahead of time. Hold on to it in a sealed envelope until you're ready to send your case. The other important update is that USCIS now recommends that you do send your medical exam with your packet. So the medical exam will typically go again at the top of your file if it fits in a smaller envelope like this. If they give you your medical exam in a bigger orange envelope, for example, you can also include it at the very bottom of your entire packet. You can fasten it together with the big paper clip that we're using, or if your packet is too thick, you can use a money band to then secure your medical exam to your packet. Next, you should have a cover letter that describes exactly what is included in your packet. You can access my free cover letter samples in my shop, and the cover letter is an optional thing that you can include in your packet. It is simply a checklist of all the forms and evidences that are in your packet for the person to see, whoever is processing your packet. I have 2 cover letter samples here. One is for those of you who are filing all of the listed forms in one paper filed packet, and the other sample is for those of you who already filed your I-130 application online and will only be including the remaining documents with the online I-130 receipt. You can use this as a general checklist of all of the required evidences for your case. And if you filed your I-130 online, in the cover letter, don't forget to mention that you will then be including your I-130 online receipt, as you can see sample on the screen, and we will talk about it in just a minute. So after all of these, we can begin putting our actual forms. You will start by including your petition for alien relative and the supplemental I-130A form, again for spouse cases only. Or if you already filed these 2 online, instead of this whole thing, you will then only need to include your online I-130 receipt, which you can access in your online USCIS account immediately after you file your I-130 petition. I use colored dividers to separate all of the applications. This is an optional thing. You do not have to do it, but it will make the job of the person reviewing your application a little bit easier. Not to mention, it will be easier for them to take your stack of applications and evidences for these applications and put them straight into the scanner. When you are printing out the forms, please make sure that both the expiration and the edition date, which is at the bottom of each page, match whatever is on the USCIS site. USCIS very frequently updates their forms, even if the actual substance of the forms doesn't change, and sometimes even the expiration date doesn't change, but the edition date does change at the bottom. So before you send your packet, make sure that you're filing them on the proper edition and expiration dates of the form. In addition, you want to make sure that the edition dates at the bottom of your form match on every single page of your applications. If the edition dates mismatch, your entire packet will get rejected and you will have to resubmit it. So here I have the I-130 petition and the I-130A form for spousal cases only, and all of the required evidence for these two forms, including the bona fides of your relationship, will go right after. And the evidence in this part of the application will go in the exact same order as listed in the cover letter. You can use sticky tabs at the bottom of each application and each supporting document to guide the USCIS officer in locating important documents for your case. These are also optional. You by no means have to include them, especially if you already listed out all your evidence in the cover letter, but this is just something easy for them to access if needed. If you are using sticky tabs, you must use them at the bottom of the page. You cannot use them on the sides. That will prevent them from easily scanning your file. In addition, do not use staples or hole punch anything in your file. You can use, like I showed before, this big paper clip or a money band to keep your papers together. I do get a question if you should be putting each of these applications in a separate envelope, and in my personal opinion, you should not. It is best to keep them all fastened together like this, so that it is easy for the officer to undo your file and put it in a scanner, as opposed to putting everything in its individual envelopes. I think it makes it more difficult for people to process your file. That's just my personal opinion. You can do whatever you think is right for your case. Remember, this is just a general guide. When submitting the bona fides of marriage, photographs is also a suggested piece of evidence, and if you would like to know how to attach bona fide marital photos and evidence to your case, you can check out a video that I will also link in the description box below. An additional form that you may want to submit with your packet is the form G1145. And this simply is a form that will allow USCIS to electronically notify you once they accept your case. Unfortunately, a lot of people have to wait for quite a few weeks and even a few months to receive an official I-797 notice of action in the mail, which is the receipt for your cases. So to get a peace of mind, to make sure that they actually accepted your case, and to get an electronic receipt number for your case, I suggest including this form G1145. You need to include one of these for each application in your file, and it should go directly before the applications that you're submitting. So I am requesting an electronic receipt notice for the form I-130, so I will include it with my form I-130. So like we mentioned earlier, if you're paper filing all these forms together, they will go next in order after your cover letter, or if you file them online, this online receipt will go next in order. The next set of applications is the I-485 adjustment of status, I-864 affidavit of support. If you are using a joint sponsor, additional sponsors, you can also list out affidavits of support from joint sponsors in here. I want to be electronically notified about this application and get a receipt number electronically ahead of time by text or email. So I will include the G1145 e-notification application right before the form. Then I will include my I-485 application, all the required evidence, and my I-864 application with all the required evidence for that. And I also used sticky tabs at the bottom to separate the forms and the evidence. So these two forms and the supporting documents for these two forms will go next in order. And the final two applications that I decided to submit for my case are the applications for employment authorization and travel document. Again, these two applications are optional, but you do need to pay the fee for them now. You can either submit one of these applications or both of these, depending on your personal preference and your case. Now, I quickly wanted to touch upon some additional filing tips. One of the questions that I frequently get is, should everything be printed in black and white or color? The answer is, that is your personal preference. If you can't print everything in color, that's fine, but it is also fine to print everything black and white. When you're printing all the forms and all the evidence, it must be printed single-sided. Another question I get is, should I duplicate evidence if it is required for multiple applications? For example, the petitioner's birth certificate or passport is required for the I-130 petition, but it is equally required for the affidavit of support. In that case, yes, you should be including a copy of supporting documentation in each application. Please do not use any correction fluid, which means whiteout, and no highlighting in anywhere on the forms. Also, never submit originals with your case. All the evidence must be copies only unless USCIS specifically requests an original from you or a certified copy. Another point that I wanted to make, a lot of attorneys and preparers, when putting together your case, especially for the Form I-130, will avoid including bona fides of marital evidence and would rather wait until a green card interview to present all of that evidence. I strongly disagree with this point of view. Your objective when putting together your packet should be to avoid an interview, which means to present them with overwhelming evidence, especially for the Form I-130. And once you put your packet together, when sending off your packet, some people I see put every single form in a separate envelope and write a separate cover letter for each form. And then they take all of those envelopes, put it in one big envelope and send it to USCIS lockbox. In my personal opinion, like I said earlier, you need to make your job and the job of the officer easier. You can perfectly put together your packet just like this, and you can put this in an envelope provided by the mailing service that you're using to send to the USCIS lockbox. If your packet is too thick and it doesn't fit in one of the regular envelopes that they provide at the post office, you can put it in a small box. That is also acceptable. If you are submitting multiple packets for multiple relatives, you can put them in one envelope as long as they are separated like this, as long as the payment for each is attached separately to their packet. And in that case, yes, you should be making a separate cover letter for each of those packets. You can check what the correct lockbox facility for your case is on the USCIS site under the direct filing addresses page, and I will also link that resource in the description box. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up so more people can see it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!